Hey, what's up everyone? Noah here with another gear review. Today we will be checking out the Phenyx Pro PTM-10 stereo wireless in-ear monitor system. Cue that intro. All right, like I said, today we are going to be checking out the Phenyx Pro PTM-10 stereo wireless in-ear monitor system. Man, that's a mouthful. Before we dive in too much into this review, I did just want to mention that Phenyx Pro did send this unit out to me to make a review over it. But I am not being paid to make this video, so everything that I say is my own personal thoughts and opinions. All right, with all that out of the way, let's go over this unit and what all comes with it. We've switched over to the overhead cam, and as you can see, it comes in this nice molded carrying case. And here is all of its contents. We got the user manual, which is always handy in case you need to reference anything. We have the PTM-10 wireless monitor transmitter. This is kind of our brain of the system here. And then we have the power adapter to power the transmitter. Next, we have the antenna for the transmitter. You also get a rack hardware mounting kit for a single unit rack space, which is super handy if you're gonna be, putting it in a rack. Who would have thought the rack hardware kit is handy for putting it into a rack? And I believe they offer a combiner plate on their website in case you wanna get two of these transmitters and mount them together into a single rack unit space. Next up, we have the body pack receiver. Power button on the top here, volume knob, headphone jack, antenna. Got some buttons here to sync it with the transmitter. Set that there. You also get two AA batteries right here. I always love when companies do this. It's just so convenient being able to have batteries right out of the box. So we'll put those just in our body pack here. Set that off to the side. Next, we got this little bag of goodies here, and what we got is we have a antenna extender cable, and what this does is it allows you to mount the antenna like this on your rack hardware kit, so that way your antenna can be mounted on the outside of the rack instead of inside of it on the transmitter. So basically this extender just plugs into the back of the transmitter and then extends your antenna to the face of the rack, so that way your antenna can be out front there. So this is very handy if you're planning on using this in a rack mount configuration. This little baggie here has all of the hardware screws to mount the rack kit, so just a heads up on that. And then we also get a set of earphones. These earphones have a couple different tip sizes so that you can fit them to your ears. Now this is great that they included some earphones so that you can be up and running right out of the packaging. But that being said, if you are running in-ears live, I would highly suggest getting a nicer set of in-ear monitors. There are some great affordable options on Amazon that I will drop down in the description below for you to check out. But if you are really serious about your in-ear monitoring game, you could always get a set of custom molded in-ears from a place like 64 Audio, which is what I have done, and boy, let me tell you, they sound incredible. All right, now that we have looked at all the contents, here are some of the features and specs. So as I've mentioned, the transmitter is a stereo transmitter. So you can see that there are two combo jacks here, meaning that you can have a 1/4 inch input or an XLR input. I did hear on another review that this unit may act up if you use the 1/4 inch jacks and not the XLR jacks. I believe that they said it just added a little bit more static. So something to keep in mind whenever you're using this. I haven't actually tested it myself, as I always try to use XLR jacks when possible. This particular model I was sent operates in a 902 to 928 megahertz frequency range, but there's another model that operates in the 555 to 575 megahertz frequency range. The body pack is rated to work in a distance of 164 feet or 50 meters. The transmitter's operating frequency response range is from 60 hertz all the way up to 1600 hertz, which we will come back to this here in a bit. Then lastly, the body pack is rated to last up to 8 hours with a fresh set of batteries. Now, something pretty cool with this is that you can actually sync as many body packs as you want up to a single transmitter, as long as they're on the same frequency and synced up. So this means if you had a whole band wanting to use the same in-ear mix, which I probably wouldn't advise, you could achieve that with this system. Phenyx Pro actually offers some bundles where you can buy the PTM transmitter with multiple body packs. Now that I think about it, I could see this being beneficial maybe for a choir or a setting where a group of people just need a basic overall mix. All right, now the moment you have all been waiting for. What are my actual thoughts on this product? Well, I haven't tested it a ton, but the second day I received it, I quick unpacked it and took it to my church as I was playing bass that Sunday. I figured that would be a great real-world test. I plugged it into the front of house soundboard about 60 to 70 feet away from where I was on stage. I ran it in true stereo mode with XLR cables, and I used my custom molded 64 audio A6T in-ear monitors. My experience overall was not terrible. I was able to get a really nice stereo spread in my mix, which I don't usually get since most places only do mono in-ear mixes. When there was audio being played, it was pretty clear. I also had more than enough volume output and wasn't even close at running out. Now, here are some things I ran into that I wasn't the most fond on. There's a pretty decent amount of noise floor in this unit, and from what I've seen from other reviewers, this is a pretty common trend. Now, I didn't experience any actual dropouts in my signal, which is great, but I would get these random pulses of static that would come out of nowhere. I did talk to Phenyx Pro about this, and this is kind of what they said. I'll put it on the screen here. So like they said, this is a pretty common thing for in-ear wireless systems, especially in this price point. And like they said, the audio will sit on top of the static, which it did in my case. I did try switching to a couple different channels, but this unit doesn't have an auto scan feature, so it can be pretty time consuming cycling through channels trying to find the cleanest one. Lastly, the next issue I ran into was since I was playing bass, I wasn't able to hear much of the low end in my mix. I was not sure why this was occurring, so I did some digging and I ended up realizing that the operating frequency response range is from 60 Hz to 1600 Hz. This basically means that any of the low end under 60 Hz is completely cut out, which is not really ideal if you're playing bass or drums and you want to feel that thump in your ears, and a lot of that low end goodness is usually below that 60 Hz frequency. So my conclusion on the Phenyx Pro PTM-10 stereo wireless in-ear monitor system is that it is a great budget-friendly stereo wireless in-ear system for anybody other than bassists and drummers. There are not many options on the market that can come close to this, so if you're wanting to step into the wireless in-ear monitoring game, this is a great option. If you're interested in picking up one of these for yourself, I'll have a couple of links in the description below. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content like this in the future. Until then, I'll see y'all in the next one. See ya!